Good morning, everyone. It's your boy Rome. Today we're going to take a look at another photo that I took a little while ago of a fitness model. And as you can see here, it's gotten some traffic on my Instagram. I thought this would be a good candidate to take a look at. Now, one of the questions that I got a few days ago was, do I use Lightroom? I use Lightroom on occasion because it is a part of my package from Photoshop. But for the most part, I don't really use Lightroom as much as I use Capture One. Capture One has just become my software of choice when it comes to culling photos, doing basic adjustments, things like that. We did some things in our gallery, which was to simulate what it would be like in a gym. Some yoga style poses. We did some poses that would be perfect for like for marketing, for flyers or social media, stuff like that. But the one that I wanted to focus on was the fitness shot here with her with the two barbells. So basically, the lighting setup for that is relatively simple. We had one main light as well as two separator lights on either side of the model. And those were, if I'm not mistaken, those were Alien Bees. I don't remember which model they were. Like I said, it was before I got the Pro Photos. All of these were Pro Photos. And we had them in a softbox. These were so here it's showing a 14 by 35. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's exactly what those were. I'd have to look at them again. Originally, these were Alien Bee softboxes. And I bought a modifier that I could change out in the back of the softbox to use them on the Pro Photos. So Alien Bee has some strange sizes for some of their boxes. They're not traditional sizes. They're just slightly larger or slightly smaller, but you kind of get the idea. But each one of the lights definitely had a grid and diffusion. So I was getting that really soft separating light, from the black background. We were using kind of like a velvet material. That's what we had set up in that specific area of the studio. And then the main light, we were, I would say, about maybe 5 feet from the model. That's a little hard, but at the same time, this is fitness. So we're still maintaining some of the softness of the light, but the most important thing is to ensure that we get the, muscle density, the shape of her body, things like that. So if we go back here, you can see that's what I'm emphasizing here. But here's one of the things that I wanted to talk to you guys about that you'll see happen to you quite often. If you notice that she's wearing a pink top, and if you look here on her arm, you can start to see the pink bleeding over onto her arm because that light is bouncing off onto her arm. Now, that's not a bad thing. You can always go in and correct that if you needed to. But if you look at the original images, you don't see it as strong, but it's still there. But it just depends on exactly how much editing you're going to do to the image as to, what the end result's going to look like. So it's just like anything else. Even here, you can see it right here inside of her arm. You can see where that pink is, casting onto the arm. But, that's one of the things that you have to contend with, when you're dealing with different color outfits and things like that. Let's see if all of them are showing that. Yep, they all basically have that same cast right there where the light is coming from the right side of the model, my right. It's bouncing off of this pink top and then casting onto her arm. But at the same time, like I said, that's not necessarily a bad thing because, sometimes when we're using gels or something like that, that might be a look that you're going for where you want to add some color into the scene. So sometimes you may want to take into consideration, the color of the outfit that the model's wearing. One of the things that I was saying before, and a couple of the guys that we were chatting back and forth the other night, is that during some of your downtime, an app like this, for Satellite, you can really get in here and you can find photos that you are attracted to, and you can kind of break it down and look for and set up practice lighting, to give you an idea of what you may want to do in the future. So even if you go back, and I'm jumping all over the place today, but if you zoom in here closely into the eye, you can see the main light. So with most photos, you can look at them, and if you get in close enough, you can start to see where the light's coming from. So like this one as an example, there was only one light that I was using in this room, and it was coming from the opposite side because I wanted to try and maintain the muscle density and everything over here. So there was one light that was on this side that was casting the light. So if you notice that it goes from light to dark, because we had something dark on this side and I wanted to kind of shadow that in, because I kind of envisioned the image, how they would use it if they were to cut her out or something like that. That would just give them a really strong image to work with. But, then again, that depends on who's doing the graphics and that type of thing. Same as here. Here there's not so much of the light, but you can still look here on her leg and you can tell the light is coming from that direction because it's more shadowed on this side. But at the same time, if you needed to, you could still go in and you could still raise, the exposure somewhat. You just don't want to blow her out. So, I look back at these images, these images were taken, some time ago, and it's just amazing sometimes how much we learn in such a short period of time from practice. So again, like I said, practice, 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 and plan for your shoots. So this, again, is the perfect example of what I was referring to before. If you have time to work out the majority of the details related to the upcoming shoot, you can go into something like Satellite, work out your lighting, decide exactly what you want, and then, just kind of play with it, and figure out, okay, well, this is going to be ideal for a sitting model or a standing model, or if they're doing something dynamic, and you're going to need certain lighting to be able to capture that. Another thing that you can do, say, if you were trying to still capture this model here, and let's say your light source wasn't large enough, just add another light. Many times in the past, what I've done is I've clamshell lit the models and still use a separator light. And, some people say, oh, that's just way too many lights. Well, in reality, it's not. It's never too many lights. It's the amount of lights you need to get the job done. So that's just the reality of it. Take the time, do your homework, line this stuff out so that you can better produce a better quality product. All right, guys. So I'm going to bring this video to an end. Hopefully everybody's staying safe, washing your hands, staying home when you can. If not, take care of yourselves and get out there and create something amazing. Again, if you have not downloaded a trial version of Satellite, you can go over to their website. I'll leave a link in the description below and download, the 15-day trial and just play with it. And trust me, there's enough videos out there that can show you exactly what you can do with this software. Let me show you something that's really cool. So here's our model. Let's zoom in on the model a little bit. And I have it in posing mode. So I can go here and I can pose the model with these pre-defined poses, and just find a pose that I like and say, okay, well, that's a good one. And maybe I want to, rotate the model a little bit, turn her, where she's facing the camera more, or, it's all these different types of poses. And you can go in and customize the poses where you can actually go in and actually move the body around. So like if I wanted to adjust her head and move it back to center, I could do that. So again, I cannot emphasize enough. If you have the opportunity and you have the free time, a lot of times we're sitting around with absolutely nothing to do and, watching Netflix or YouTube or whatever it is, download this app, put it on your computer, and start to play with it. And you'll be amazed at what you will learn in just a short period of time. I say in the beginning, start off with one light and, try, 3 or 4 different styles, what you can get from just that one light, and then add another light, add a second light, then a third light, then add some gels, add some grids, just play with it, change the background. Maybe you want to change the color of the background. So let's say if we go here and we decided we wanted this background to be white. So we just, boom, instantly our background is white. So you're going to get a completely different look to that image, something more akin to, print photography. Or if you wanted to go in and add a color, you can do that at the same time. So it's just a matter of experimenting. with what can work for you. All right, guys, I will catch you guys in the next video. Hopefully, I will have a chance to do something tomorrow or later this week, but I will continue creating content as long as you guys are still watching it and we're still talking about it. So again, hopefully this video will have taught someone something. And until next time, guys, it's your boy Rome. Peace. I'm out.